Hi, this is Osman. I'm an energy healer, yoga and meditation teacher, and an entrepreneur. Be sure to visit my website, yogawellness786.com, for more resources, information, contact information, list of my services, as well as regularly updated on an almost daily basis discussions from a modern scientific combined with the ancient sciences perspective relating to trending challenges that people are facing today, and may be very helpful in bringing solutions to some challenges that you may be facing, right? And also I'm an energy healer and yoga meditation teacher, offering natural methods to improving your health and managing or overcoming health challenges. But this is not a replacement for medical treatment. If you have any medical condition, be sure to visit a qualified and licensed medical professional in your locality. Okay, and I wanted to discuss, my experience with intermittent fasting, right? So, I found it to be such a powerful additive, and I actually didn't know how to do intermittent fasting exactly, initially, and thought intermittent fasting is like to fast twice a week for about 12 hours or from sunrise to sunset, right? Twice a week is healthy. Of course, any fasting that you add is very good, right? So I initially, I used to add fasting of twice a week, completely dry fasting without any liquid or any nutrition from sunrise to sunset, according to Islamic traditions. But also, it is recommended a very healthy practice, and I embraced that practice when I was trying to overcome diabetes, and high blood pressure and chronic cholesterol. And I completely reversed those conditions where I completely came out of the medications within a short space of time. I would say only the fasting, right, of twice a week, but there were many other things that I included. But I was very regular with fasting twice a week, right? Dedicated to it, and had very positive results in my health. And later on, I found out what intermittent fasting actually is, that it is a practice daily of certain hours in which you eat and certain hours in which you don't consume anything nutritive, which means you can drink water or herbal teas that is non-nutritive, and but not consume any food, right? During fixed number of hours daily, right? 7 days a week. So there is various level: 12 hour, 12, and 16/8, and recommended is 16/8, as close as possible to being on a fasted level for 16 hours and eating in an 8-hour window. So usually people have the first meal around 11 a.m. and they have the last meal at 7 p.m., right? So, and then go to bed and don't eat again until the next day at 11 a.m., which is not so difficult. So you're just skipping your early morning meal, which most people skip anyway, because you are in such a rush to get to work and you're always late and you overslept and there's no time for any breakfast. And, so you can drink your coffee, black coffee, right? Or, a coffee without sugar. Um, or you can have, I don't like to mention non-nutritive sweeteners, but it's actually not, it's processed and not healthy, right? And I don't have any non-nutritive sweeteners, right? I don't consume all that. I don't even consume any regular tea or coffee. I just have maybe green tea, chamomile tea, or rose hip tea, natural based teas, right? Herbal teas, rooibos tea from my country. These are the things that I would consume in my hot drink. Or I drink like a hot lemon drink. I make it myself, boiling water in a cup, and put in a slice of lemon, and I cut a few small pieces of sliced ginger, and I let it, simmer for about few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and I drink that hot water, and then I keep repeating more hot water because there's a lot of vitamin C, and juice still left in the gym, in the lemon, and in the ginger as well. So my experience, coming back to the intermittent fasting, I found, because I'm an energy healer and a yoga meditation teacher, I do energy practice, right? Because I keep my energy levels practiced on a daily basis, because anytime I may get a phone call for an emergency. I specialize in critical care recovery, and people who are on their deathbed and suddenly their life is in danger, and they are in a hospital and it's touch and go, and the doctors don't know and not hopeful, of their recovery. So families normally contract with me, and I have a very high success rate in recovering people that are in a coma, or expected, or not expected to survive, and over 90% of them have survived that were expected not to survive, right? They were on the final straw level, right? And usually people connect and contract my services when there is every other option has been exhausted and they are in the last lap, because people generally, they do not trust energy healing, and they don't have confidence in this type of thing, but they'll come in the last minute, and I've got a very fortunate, very high success rate. So I need to practice my energy every day, so I feel the power of the energy. And even when I'm practicing yoga, I feel the effect of the flexibility in my body and the rush of that positive energy that collects in my body, right? Because I find, especially when I'm doing the head to knee posture, or the princess posture, or the technical term is Paschimottanasana posture, when you're bending forward, if I didn't practice it for 2 or 3 days, massive rush of that energy from the lower end of the spine, to the head region, that that influence and that flow gets influenced by natural methods and natural foods. Depending on what I eat, it influences that energy positively, and I can discern it. So when I started to adopt the 16-8 rule, fasting 16 hours and eating 8 hours, I found a noticeable and significant increase in my subtle life force energy and my energy healing, and my progress in my energy healing into higher and higher levels started to increase in pace, right? And I found it very amazing, right? So it is something that I can recommend from a subtle life force energy perspective and my personal experience, that the intermittent fasting, if you can adopt it into your life, it will go a long way, long way to helping you. Because one biggest, monumental, humongous problem that all my patients have is they're unable to change their diet to a healthy diet during their illness period, and they're unable to remove that which is harmful, right? The biggest problem, and the people who have a discipline, and I don't want them to have a discipline throughout their life, just for the short period of healing, very difficult, right? So I'm sure you are normal as well, and you want to consume your food, so be responsible. Try to reduce the harmful things down to about 20% of your diet. But the intermittent fasting is going to go a long way towards eliminating all these processed and refined products that you're putting into your body, and the toxins that you're putting, and the harmful substances that you're putting, and the harmful substances that you may be addicted to as well. Go a long way towards eliminating it and helping to influence your age, your aging, healthy aging, and living longer, healthier, right? And be sure to visit my website, yogawellness786.com, and take care.